Hi, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be using a couple of props for our sequence today, so you will need one blanket along with a pillow, any size pillow. I just took a pillow from my bed. If you have a bolster, that's great too. And then a cozy blanket. So before we get started, I'm just going to show you how to fold this blanket. So here we have the blanket long ways. We're going to fold it in half. Make sure it's as even as possible. Then hands to hands, fold it in half again. And then I'm going to come down on the floor, fold it in half, halfway, and then we're going to kind of twist it back, depending on how long it is, and then fold it one more time. So you're kind of crisscrossing that fold, and then we'll set that over to the side to use later. This sequence today is going to be a nice, gentle movement practice, and then at the end, a more restorative, opening up your heart center. Maybe we've been sitting over desks. This is a nice way to kind of reset your posture, reset your spine. So let's get started in easy pose today. Coming down onto our seat bones, maybe pulling that flesh away from the base. Just begin to settle into your body. Allowing your jaw to relax. Letting the skin around your eyes soften. And then once feeling settled here, begin to notice your inhales and your exhales. Eyes can remain open or allow them to close. This is based on your comfort and your practice, so make the choice that works for your body today. And as we start to notice our inhales and exhales, begin to notice the rhythm of your breath in your body. Feeling the expansion and contraction that's happening. Letting the stillness allow the quietness to be noticed, the stillness of your body. And then coming up into our neck, we're gonna just sink that left ear to the left shoulder. Breathing into any tightness or tension that you might be holding on to. Coming back to center, exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Back to center. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. Maybe It might feel good to you to set an intention for your practice today, whether that be honoring your body, keeping your awareness with your breath, or maybe it's just staying present during your practice today. And if an intention doesn't call to you today, that is perfectly okay. Every practice we show up to our mat is different. So honoring that today. Exhale, release those hands. Let's make our way into tabletop, coming onto all fours, spreading those fingers out wide, wrists are below shoulders, knees are below hips. And we're gonna start to do some cat-cow motion. So sink that belly, send that gaze out. Tucking that chin, curling that back. Feeling the movement of your spine from the base of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Also, as we are curling our back, envision that spine opening, getting some space in between there, and then as we come into our cow, our spine is contracting, condensing. Those spaces are not there anymore. One more here. Come back to center, and we're gonna step up into our first forward fold. So however you wanna get there, stepping to the front of our mat, bending our knees, allowing our head and neck to release towards the floor. Still keeping our attention with the rhythm of our breath. Maybe noticing where our breath resides when we come into these different poses. We're more in a closed pose here. So is our breath more in the front of our body or the back of our body? Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins, gaze is down. Exhale, release. We're gonna plant those hands down, step back into our plank pose. So your plank can be here, legs fully extended, or coming down onto our knees. Then we're gonna skip the chaturanga here. So we're gonna hold here, pulling that belly button in towards our spine, activating that core, that foundation that creates stability in our body. Feeling the activation up through your hands, up into your arms and your shoulders. Continuing to breathe here. And then let's tuck those toes, press back into downward facing dog. Taking a few rounds of breath here. We're gonna inhale, our gaze goes up towards the front of our mat as our feet step to the top of our mat into forward fold. Releasing that upper body. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, gaze is down, back is flat. Exhale, release, finding that plank pose again, and we're gonna hold it here. So activating that middle, that core. If you are on your knees, you can keep those toes tucked or allow them to be flat on your mat. Feeling the strength in our body. Tapping into that strength with our breath. And then as you exhale, press back into that downward facing dog. Maybe in your downward facing dog, you take deeper breaths here, releasing what you might have been holding on to as we held that plank pose. Let our gaze come up to the top of our mat, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, stepping back into plank. Maybe you step back with that opposite foot, finding your plank, holding here. Pull that belly button in as it activates, feeling the activation in our arms and shoulders. And then as you exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Remembering to take a nice inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth in downward facing dog if that feels good. Now we're going to bend those knees and walk our hands back towards our feet. So now we're at the back of our mat in forward fold. And we're going to bring our arms up as we rise up, finding length in our body. Exhale, hands coming down to our sides. We're going to find warrior one here. So we're going to place that right foot down, feeling that nice foundation as we step that left foot forward. And knowing that if we feel unstable in that base, we can always walk that back foot out towards the long side of our mat. Feeling the rhythm of our breath. Hands can stay here on your hips or continue up towards the ceiling. Pressing into that front thigh. Bringing your palms together, drawing that center line down the body, stopping at your heart, pressing off with that right foot as it comes to meet that left. And then we're going to find a sun salutation here. So continue on down into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This is going to look just like we did at the beginning of class. Exhale, planting those palms down, stepping back into your plank. We're holding here. Bringing your attention to your core, to your arms. Noticing the rhythm of your breath, allowing it to rise and fall. Press back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to bend those knees here and walk back towards our feet. Walking our hands back towards our feet, coming into that forward fold at the back of our mat. Keeping those knees nice and bent here. And then rising up with our arms, lengthening. Exhale, hands coming down to our sides. Bring your hands to our hips. This time we're going to press down onto that left leg, stepping forward with our right, coming into warrior one. And again, walking that back foot out if you need more stability, to feel that stability. Hands can stay here or allow your hands to rise up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Palms come together, drawing a line down the center of your body as we stop at our heart. Pressing into that left foot. Coming into standing. You can keep facing the front of your mat. Releasing those hands down, we're going to plant that left hand down, reaching that right arm up as we find that side bend, reaching towards the left side. Exhale, come back to center. Right hand comes down, reaching up with that left. So we bend over to the right side. Releasing. Opening up our chest, grounding down into the mat. Eyes can be open or closed. Inhaling here, exhaling as we come down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, coming down into tabletop. And then we're gonna make our way into easy pose. So if you wanna cross those ankles, press your seat bones back, bringing your feet forward, that's one way, or swinging those feet out to the side as we come on to our hip, finding our way into easy pose here. Now we are going to settle into that restorative pose. So we have our blanket along with our pillow. So we're gonna set ourselves up. I have a pad on the bottom of my mat, which just allows a little bit more cushion if that feels good to you. So we're gonna lay this mat down, making sure the pillow's close to us because the pillow's gonna be supportive underneath our knees or the back of our thighs, finding that comfortable position for yourself. That's different for everyone. And then slowly lowering down onto our back. And this blanket here wants to kind of be in the middle of your back here. So your head is relaxing. We want our chest to open. So it's kind of pushing our chest forward. You might need to reposition that pillow a little bit. Arms can either be goalpost arms or T arms. Eyes can remain opened or closed. We're just gonna end our practice here today. So allow your body to feel the pull of gravity down onto your mat, feeling that heaviness, feeling supported by your pillow and your blanket. Feeling the rhythm of your breath. Allow yourself to completely relax. Gently allow your breath to deepen here, filling your lungs with air. Starting to come back to your mat, come back to the space, bringing some movement back into your body. Maybe that's lifting your feet off the floor and circling those ankles, Wiggling those fingers, Circling those wrists if that feels good. Maybe you continue to incorporate those deeper inhales and exhales. And then rolling on to whichever side feels most comfortable for you. So that's pushing away the pillow, cradling your head as you roll onto your side, taking a movement to kind of orientate yourself with this position here. And then when you feel ready, gently pressing yourself up to a seated pose. Eyes can remain closed or stay open here. We're going to bring our hands to our heart center. Thank yourself for showing up today. Maybe allowing yourself to let go and relax. Incorporating some gentle movement into your day. Namaste.